and get started and do our yoga. So, of course, taking the practice at your own pace and allowing yourself to have a fun time. So, start in a comfortable seated position. And yes, welcome back to your yoga mat and your practice. So, of course, as we dive back into the practice, just remembering to be patient with yourself in the practice. So maybe closing the eyes down and sitting up nice and tall, and allow yourself to just relax and drop in. So the fingertips are gentle, eyes are closed, and the muscles of the face are relaxing. And sitting up nice and tall, so the shoulders melt down the back and the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. And if you'd like any gentle movement from side to side here, or kind of taking circles with the upper body, you can go ahead and gently do that. And if it feels nice to pause in a place for a moment, feel free to, of course, honor your body and stay there if you'd like to. Begin to tap into your breath. So taking a full deep breath in through the nose. And then longer exhale out through the mouth. And as you exhale, really kind of just letting it slowly leave the mouth. So again, taking a full deep breath in through the nose. And then just parting the lips just a little bit, slow exhale out through the mouth. Notice the rise and fall of the chest with the breath. And as we focus on our breath, our mind begins to slow down, and we can really kind of become present in our practice and kind of check in with ourselves. Why don't we do 3 more breaths here? So at your pace, taking an inhale. Big exhale out. And 2 more times. Last one, fill all the way up. And a big exhale out. Gently blink your eyes open. And let's take a full deep breath in. So reach the arms out and reach them up overhead. And so stay here for a moment. Bring the palms together to touch. And then as you exhale, interlace your fingertips and press the palms up towards the ceiling. And then as you're here, maybe bring your gaze just straight ahead. Start to tuck the chin a little bit so the back of the neck lengthens out. It's okay. And then take a breath in, press the palms up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, press your palms forward now, kind of in front of you. Round in your spine and tuck the chin towards the chest. So the belly button is hugging towards your spine. And your shoulder blades are kind of pulling away from one another. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, so straighten and press the palms up towards the ceiling, so arms lift up. And then exhale, press the palms forward, allow the chin to tuck and drop. Awesome, 1 more time. Inhale, press the palms up. And exhale, press the palms forward. Again, round in your spine. Let the back of the neck lengthen out. And then let the inhale bring the arms up, press the palms towards the ceiling. And exhale, start to bend your elbows and let the hands come to the base of the skull. And let's stay here for a moment. So the spine is nice and long, the top of the head lifting up towards the ceiling. And the elbows, okay. The elbows are kind of, the elbows are opening up behind you, so you can kind of feel an opening through the pec muscles. So stay here for another breath. And big exhale, release the hands, bring them back down towards the mat. And let's just roll the shoulders a bit here. So as you inhale, the shoulders hug up towards your ears. And exhale, they roll down. So doing that a few times at your own pace. Awesome. Again, big inhale, reach your arms up nice and high towards the ceiling. We're going to come into a spinal twist. So as you exhale, begin to bring your right hand to the floor, the left hand to the right knee, and we're twisting through the spine. And beginning to maybe gaze over the right shoulder gently. And then notice if you're really pulling or tugging here. So the hand should be pretty gentle. We're not trying to force a huge twist or movement in the spine. So allowing yourself to be gentle, feel the shoulders relax, another breath in. And on your exhale, come back through center. Inhale, arms reach up towards the ceiling. And exhale to the other side. And even here, kind of feel the core, the belly button tugging towards the spine. And just gently gazing over that left shoulder. Widening through the collarbone, stay for another breath. And exhale back through center. Let's take an inhale, reach the left arm up nice and high towards the ceiling. So reach through your fingertips. Feel a nice side body stretch here through the ribs, the armpit area. Lengthen those fingertips up, take a breath in. And exhale, reach over towards your right. So this right hand just gently resting on the mat. And if you can get there and you want to, feel free to drop your right forearm to the ground. And if you'd like, beginning to gaze up at the ceiling a bit. And we're still reaching and lengthening through those left fingertips. So feeling a nice side body stretch. And another deep breath in. And on the exhale, gently find your way back up towards center. And we'll switch sides. So straightening up through the spine. The left hand now will stay down on the mat. And inhale. Go ahead and reach your right arm up nice and high. And before we move anywhere, really feel that length. So the ribs are lengthening. Spread through the fingertips, a breath in. And exhale. Go ahead and reach over towards your left. And again, maybe pausing here for a moment and then allowing that left forearm to drop down towards the mat. And if you'd like, bringing the gaze up towards the ceiling and the bicep is kind of hovering over the right ear. And another inhale. And exhale, let it go. Come back up through center and let's go to the other side again. Inhale, left arm reaching up. And exhale, reach to the right. Inhale, a breath in. And exhale, stay here and start to fold a bit over your right thigh. So like the nose is facing down towards the right knee. And I'm getting a different stretch here along the lower back. Next exhale, float your way back up through center. And we'll go to the other side. So let the inhale, bring that right arm up. Reach through the fingertips. And exhale, reach to the left. Inhale. And then on the exhale, start to drop your upper body over to the left knee. And as you're here, allow the head to kind of let go. So allow the neck and head to release. Stay for another breath. And exhale, come back through center. All right, let's find our way into our child's pose. So kind of coming onto all fours and then kind of build this from the bottom up. So bringing the knees to the edges of your mat and the big toes to touch. Start to settle down through your hips, letting them drop down towards your heels and gently reaching your arms forward. And maybe your forehead can come down to the ground, and if it can't, or doesn't reach or you don't want it there, you can go ahead and stack hand over hand and allow the forehead to rest on your hands. So this is your child's pose. Allow yourself to land here, and if the arms are reaching forward, go ahead and spread the fingertips nice and wide. And then notice what you're in contact with. So kind of feel with the finger pads, the mat. And if you'd like to really press into the finger pads, you can engage the arms and start to lift the elbows up off the mat for a bit of a more active child's pose. Or if you'd like, gently rest the elbows on the mat, And let yourself sink down. And soften and breathe. After your next exhale, let's press your way up to a tabletop position. You hear the dog getting another toy. So in your tabletop position, spread your fingertips nice and wide. Wrists are right underneath the shoulders, the back of your neck is long, and be gentle through the elbows, and let's just kind of come into some nice circles here. So again, allowing ease and flow to kind of remain through the elbows, the fingertips, the back of your neck. And then find your way towards your neutral tabletop. And in your neutral tabletop, we want to be active through the core. So we're pushing the floor away from us. And we're active through the core. So we'll do some fun balancing stuff from here. So let's take a breath in and send the right foot back behind you. And so you're flexing the right heel. So your right toes are down towards the ground. And you can really feel the hamstring and glute working. And then from here, if you'd like, just gently reach the left hand forward. And just notice how this feels. So again, staying active through the core, you're reaching through the heel and the finger. So really imagine lengthening out like a straight line of energy. Back of the neck is nice and long. We'll hold for 3, 2, and 1. As you exhale, start to bring your elbow and knee towards one another, kind of under your belly button, curling your spine. Tuck the chin. And then go ahead, kick out and reach again. Take a breath in. And then as slowly as you need to exhale, bring elbow towards knee again. Inhale, take a breath in. Go ahead and reach again, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Last time here, inhale, kick and reach out. And then as you exhale, drop your left hand down towards the ground. Leave your right leg nice and long and drop the right toes towards the back edge of your mat. And from here, start to work your right heel down towards the ground to get a stretch through that calf muscle. If you'd like, you can kind of rock back and forth, really putting, pressing some weight into the hands. Okay, then lift that right leg back up nice and straight, and we're going to bring it up and over your left leg. So right toes down towards the ground, and if you'd like, look over your left shoulder. Check out your right foot. And so here, feeling a side body stretch through that right side, the right ribs. And another breath. Exhale, release, let it go. Find your tabletop. You can either stay still, or if you'd like to just gently roll around for a moment, go ahead and do that. Okay, moving on to the other side. So again, find your neutral and stable tabletop position. And then from here, go ahead and kick your left foot back behind you. Flex the foot so the toes are down towards the ground. You're really lengthening out through the left heel. And then engage the core, and if you'd like, go ahead and reach the right hand forward. Again, we're reaching the fingertips. Maybe the thumb is lifting up towards the ceiling. And we'll stay for 3, 2, and 1. And go ahead and take a breath in, stay like this. And then exhale, bring elbow towards knee, round in your spine. Awesome, inhale, kick and lengthen out. Exhale, bring it in. And of course, whatever is in contact with the ground, really pressing down into it. So we're pressing the earth away from us. Inhale, kick and reach. Exhale, squeeze in. Tuck the chin a little bit, hold for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, kick and reach. Exhale, drop the right hand down right underneath the right shoulder. The left leg will stay long, and drop your left toes to the edge of your mat. Awesome, and then working that left heel down towards the ground a bit for stretch through the calf. Gently go ahead and lift your left leg, bring it up and over this right leg, drop your left toes towards the ground. And if you'd like, gaze over your right shoulder. Awesome, all right. Find your way back tabletop. From here, let's come into a low lunge. So start to slide your right foot forward to the front of your mat. And it's between the two hands, so go ahead and have a hand on either side of this right foot. And so adjust your right foot so that that your ankle is right under the knee and the right toes are facing forward. And as you land here, start to soften a bit through the hips. So should feel a nice opening here through your left hip flexor and quadricep. And if you'd like, you can keep both hands down on the ground for support, or you can go ahead and bring them to the top of your right knee. And as they're here, you can kind of find yourself in a bit of a back bend, so the gaze starts kind of creeping up towards the ceiling. And relax the shoulders. With the exhale, bring your hands back down towards the ground and we'll come into a twist to either side. Left hand stays down on the ground. Take a big inhale, twist and reach your right hand to the ceiling. And as you exhale, lower that right hand down. And go to the other side. Inhale, twist and reach your left hand towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower down. And one more time each side. Inhale, reach up. Pause here if you'd like. Come into a half bind, so the back of your right hand can come to the low back, only if that feels okay on that right shoulder. And exhale, lower your right hand down. Inhale, twist and reach the left hand up. And if you'd like here, exhale, coming into a half bind, back of the left hand finds the low back. Awesome. Exhale, lower down back to that low lunge. Tuck the back toes and come into a runner stretch. So start to straighten through your front right leg. Flex the right toes towards your face. And for a deeper stretch, kind of fold in your upper body closer towards your right leg. Awesome. From here, begin to bend your right knee. Bring your right foot to the floor. You have a hand on either side of the foot. Tuck the back toes. Lift the hips up and ground down in your heels here. And we're folding over the front right leg. So the left foot is sort of angled up at the top left-hand corner of the mat. And if this doesn't feel okay, you can shorten the stance or bring a bend to your knees here. We're going to shift forward to a standing split. So we do that by softening through the knees. We're going to put our body weight into our right foot and lift your left heel towards the ceiling. So the right toes are facing directly forward. The hands are still on the ground. Fold in the upper body. And if you'd like, you can bring one hand to your right ankle for a challenge. And of course, you can go ahead and bring both hands to the right ankle. And so you're really grounding down through the mound of the big toe and the heel on that right foot, lifting the left heel to the ceiling. Take another breath in. Big exhale, soften through the knees, come into a forward fold. So lower that left foot down. The feet are parallel, facing forward. And as you exhale, really soften and let go. So here we are in our forward fold. You are welcome to come into a ragdoll pose, maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Or if you'd like, wrapping your arms around the backs of your knees. Lovely. All right, gently bring your hands down to the ground. We'll come into a halfway lift. So on the inhale, press into the feet. Come into a flat back here. So the hands are either on the ground or towards your, on the shins. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Hug that belly button towards the spine. Another breath in. Exhale as you fold forward, let it go. 2 more times just like that. The inhale brings you up so the heart pulls forward. And as you exhale, let it go. And 1 more time. Inhale as you lift halfway. And exhale, fold and let it go. Awesome. From here, just step back to your tabletop position. So bring your hands to the floor and drop the knees. Come into a low lunge on the other side. So begin to bring your left foot forward between the 2 hands. Making sure that left ankle is right underneath your left knee. Awesome. And again, really melting into your hips. So you can either keep your hands on the ground, or if you'd like, bring your hands to the top of the left knee. And then kind of just check in with yourself. Notice if there's anything that you can lighten up anywhere or adjust anything. So your heart is open, the collarbone is nice and wide. Maybe on an exhale, you can sink a little bit lower, maybe not. On your next exhale, bring both your hands back down to the mat, and we will come into our twist here. So start by leaving your right hand down on the mat. Big inhale, twist and reach your left hand to the ceiling. And as you exhale, release and lower down. To the other side, inhale, sweep and reach your right arm up. And exhale, release. We'll do each side 1 more time. Option for a half bind. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, half bind if you'd like. Exhaling that left hand back down and going to the other side on your inhale. And bringing both your hands down towards the ground, sending your hips towards the back edge of your mat and coming into your runner stretch. Then a stretch to the back of the left leg. Left toes are pointing towards your face. Fold them over this left leg. Begin to bend through your left knee. Bring your left foot to the floor. Go ahead and tuck the back toes under, lift your hips up, and then ground this back heel down. So both feet now are grounded down. Your right toes are angled up at the top right-hand corner of your mat. And the belly button and torso is folding over this left thigh. If this doesn't feel okay, you can always step your right foot out towards the edge of the mat a bit more. Bring a little bit of a bend to the knees and shorten the stance if you'd like. Really grounding down through the feet. We'll shift forward and prep for our standing split. So we'll shift our body weight into our left foot. Maybe creep your hands forward a bit. Lift your right leg. And start to fold the upper body down towards the ground. And as you fold in your upper body, continue, if you can, lifting your right heel up higher towards the ceiling. And then option 2, bring your hands towards your ankle, or just trying out one at a time. Hug that belly button towards your spine and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale, soften down, forward fold. So we've got both feet on the floor, Have a nice bend through your knees. Fold in the upper body. Option here, we can come into monkey pose or gorilla pose. So for monkey pose, peace fingers wrap around your big toes, palms face one another. Having a nice little bend through the elbows, or for gorilla pose, slipping your palms all the way underneath the soles of your feet, really bending the knees here. And so maybe if it feels okay, you can actually feel the ribs resting on your thighs. So that's how much of a bend, and it feels really great. All right, gently find your way out of that, and we are going to press into our feet. Take a big breath in and rise all the way up. You feel the legs turning on, activating the kneecaps, kind of hug, squeeze up. Big inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bend the knees slightly and fold forward. Use the inhale, come into your halfway lift, so hands to the shins. And exhale, bring your hands to the mat and step back to a high plank. So in our high plank, fingertips spread nice and wide. Wrists are right underneath the shoulders, backs of the legs lifting up towards the ceiling. If this doesn't feel okay, drop down towards your knees. That's okay too. Take a breath in. As you exhale, use your core, bend the elbows, squeeze them in towards the ribs, and lower all the way down. Rest your right cheek on the mat for a moment. And leave the hands just as they are. We'll come into a cobra pose here. So again, squeezing the elbows in towards the ribs. Hands are right underneath the shoulders. And inhale, kind of lift up through the chest. So you're pressing down through the tops of the feet and through the hips. On the next exhale, slowly lower down. Maybe rest your left cheek on the floor. And then turn your forehead down towards the center of the mat, and we'll do that one more time. Inhale, go ahead and lift up. So we're using the upper back muscles here. Another breath in. And exhale, let it go, lower down. Tuck the toes under. We'll shift back to downward facing dog. So if you'd like to get there through a tabletop. And go ahead, lift your hips up nice and high. The feet are about hips width distance apart. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Fingertips are spread nice and wide and engaged through those finger pads. So we kind of tapped into them for a moment in our child's pose. The arms are really engaged, and have a soft bend through your knees here. So first downward facing dog of this practice. Allow yourself to just kind of feel around and see what's going on. From your downward facing dog, why don't you come into a high plank? So go ahead and shift forward. Again, active through the core. From here, we'll come into side plank on the right side. So the right hand stays down. Roll into the edges of the feet. And reach your left hand towards the ceiling if you'd like. Left hand can always stay on the hip, or it can even come into a half bind, so finding your low back. And then if you find an exhale, shift your way back towards your high plank and come into side plank on the left side. Again, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, using the core, really pressing down through your left hand. Half bind if you'd like for 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Come on back to your high plank. Go ahead and drop your knees down. And then kind of sink your hips a little bit and flip onto the tops of your feet. So this should feel really nice. Maybe just moving from side to side, glancing over one shoulder and then the other. Awesome. From here, go ahead, press back to your child's pose. Again, fingertips spread nice and wide. Feel the finger pads. And finding your way back up, downward facing dog. Tucking those toes under, press and lift the hips up. From here, we'll come into a warrior two. So right foot is going to come forward between your two hands. And go ahead and spin your back foot down. So this left foot is almost parallel with the back edge of your mat. Use that core and go ahead and lift the body up. Your shoulders are over your hips. Before we lift our hands, check out your right foot. So the right toes are facing forward, right knee right over the ankle. And then settle in. So we've got right hand reaching forward, left hand reaching back. And now we're really feeling the feet here. So you're pressing into the outer edge of this left foot. You've got a nice juicy bend through your right leg. And you're gazing forward over the front middle finger. And notice the core here. So we want to be hugging energy up and in. So it's like we're kind of knitting together here. On an exhale, just drop your hands and kind of shake them from either side like they are empty coat and empty, what's the saying? Empty coat sleeves. Yeah, that gives me a nice visual. Okay, excellent. Come on back to your warrior two. Feel your feet. Let's take a big inhale, flip your front palm, reach up. So before you go back, see if you can bring some length as you reach up through this right side body, reaching up through those right fingertips. And then if you'd like, gently start to reach back a bit. And then as you exhale, float into a side angle. So bring your right elbow to the top of your right knee. Twist and lift the left hand towards the ceiling. So reaching your left fingertips up nice and high. And be careful here in this right elbow. We don't want to be dumping too much weight into it. Okay, float on back, warrior two. We're going to actually straighten this front leg. Go ahead and reach the arms up, lift them up overhead. Exhale, sink back, warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm, revolve and reach back. And then as you exhale, we're going to windmill both hands down to the inside of the right foot. Roll onto the ball of this left foot. Start to creep your right foot out towards the right edge of the mat. So this pose is called deepest lunge. If you'd like, drop down to your left knee. And the stretch is happening through this right glute, the right inner thigh, and also the left hip flexors here. For a deeper stretch, you can drop down to your forearms if that's feeling okay. And if like staying fluid here and kind of moving around feels best for you today, you are definitely welcome to do that. And for a bit of a deeper or just a different stretch, if you'd like, go ahead and press back up to your hands and turn your right toes out to 2 o'clock. Roll onto the pinky edge side of your right foot so you can see the sole of this foot, and that will give you a stretch again through this right hip and glute. And if you like, your left hand can come to just this right knee area ever so gently and kind of just give it a gentle little push for an opening. Lovely. Okay, begin to bring your right foot down to the floor. We're going to shift our way back to a high plank. So whatever pose you're in, you can kind of lift that back knee up and step this right foot back. And then from here, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Again, soften through the knees in your downward facing dog. And let your head go. All right. Let's go to the other side. So we'll build a warrior two on the left side. So bringing your left foot forward between your two hands and take as much time here as you need to build your warrior two. So your left foot is almost intersecting right in the middle of this back. Right foot, right leg kind of working towards straight. And your left knee over the left ankle. Shoulders and hips are opening. Shoulders are right over the hips. When you feel ready, start to lengthen and reach your hands out. Again, gaze is over the front middle finger. And really tap into your ring finger. So this left ring finger, we lengthen out. And then just notice your right ring finger. See if you can bring some bit of some more length here to the arms. And on your next exhale, drop the arms and shake from side to side. Nice. All right. Coming on back to your warrior two. And again, if you're ever feeling like distracted or overwhelmed, just tap into the feet. So pressing into the outer edge of this back foot, really sinking into this front leg. Let's inhale, flip the front palm, revolve and reach up. Again, reach to these left fingertips, feel the side body opening up. And then from here, even reaching back a little bit if you'd like. In the challenge, of course, continue staying low in that front knee, nice bend through it. And then come on forward to your side angle. So gently resting this left elbow on top of the knee. Twisting your heart up and open, reach your right hand towards the ceiling. All right, find your feet, come on back, warrior two. Reach through the ring fingers. Press through the feet, inhale, straighten that front leg, reach the arms up overhead. And on your exhale, let yourself just sink back into your warrior two. Awesome, inhale, flip the front palm, revolve and reach back. We're going to shift into our deepest lunge. So both hands are going to come down to the inside of this left foot. Move as slowly as you need to. Shift this left foot out towards the left side of the mat. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Awesome. And then from here, take it however you'd like, dropping the back knee or dropping down to your forearms. For more of an active stretch, work on, continue hugging your left knee into your left shoulder. You can really kind of feel the inner thigh muscles active. And you can stay here for a different stretch. Turn your left toes out to 10 o'clock. Roll into the pinky other side of the butt. And then left hand to that left knee. Notice if you can soften just a little bit on an exhale. So maybe it's to the hips or the shoulders. All right, gently lower down, bringing the hands down, lowering that foot. Going to shift our way back into a high plank. Press into your hands, send that left foot, bless you, back it up. And let's lift up, downward facing dog, last one. All right. We're going to bring our feet forward to the front of the mat. So you can either walk them up towards your hands, or if you'd like, do a hop or two to bring them forward. And from here, just bend your knees and lower down onto the ground. We'll come into a seated position here for a moment. Why don't we extend the legs out in front of you, so we'll come into a forward fold. So we can either have this be really active if you'd like, flex your feet, again, sitting up nice and straight. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, slowly reach for the toes. See if you can let your heart lead the way as you reach. And then your hands either coming towards the feet or maybe they're on the ground for support. Go ahead and release your neck. So shake it yes, shake it no. Start to lift back up. We'll come into a seated tree pose. So begin to bend your right knee. Bring the right sole of your foot to the left thigh. And again, using your breath, so an inhale to lengthen. And as you exhale, fold, reach for that left foot. Softening through the belly. Start to lift back up, and we'll switch sides. Lengthening that right leg out, and bending the left knee. Inhale to reach up, lengthen. And exhale, reach for the right toes. And just ever so gently focusing on each breath. So as you inhale, maybe you just silently say in. And on the out breath, just silently saying out. Slowly lifting your way back up, and we'll come into a seated butterfly. So bringing the soles of your feet together. While you're here, roll those shoulders back. Feel your heart nice and open. And then begin to bend forward over your feet. Maybe using these elbows to press against your inner thighs. Again, notice if you can let the heart lead the way as you kind of come into this pose. All right, go ahead and lift back up, and let's lay all the way back down. Okay. Take a nice full body stretch, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, come into your final resting pose. So for your final resting pose, we'll just stay here for a minute, but you can of course stay in this pose for as long as you'd like. So maybe the ankles are at the corners of your mat and the hands may be resting on your tummy, or maybe they're out on the floor, palms face up. And begin to close your eyes down. Allow yourself to really soften and melt into the mat. And taking this opportunity to do a full body scan. So maybe start at the feet. So start to kind of wiggle through the toes and the feet, and then walk your energy up, ankles, shin bones, knees, to the upper thighs, the hips, the low abdomen, through the torso, ribs, and chest, and down through the arms, through the hands and fingers. And then up through the neck and face and the top of the head. We'll go for a count of 4. So for a count of 4, inhale through your nose. And then see if you can go to a count of 5. Slow exhale out through the mouth. And do that again. Full breath in. And full exhale out. And then in your own way, gently find yourself coming back up to a seated position. Maybe sitting cross-legged if you'd like, eyes staying closed, or just gently gazing forward. Let the shoulders melt down the back, and let's take a full inhale, reach the arms up. Spread your fingertips, feel all the length created through the side body, through the breath. Palms come together. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. And pause and melt here and silently say something to yourself that you are grateful for. And take another deep breath in. And full exhale out. Namaste. Thank you for joining and practicing. If you have any questions, feel free to type them out. And hopefully I will see you guys back on Mondays at 6 p.m.